Well, a very good morning to you. Lincoln. Well, a very good morning to you. It's quite early, it's only about 8:15, and we suddenly looked out and we got a green light on Torksey Lock. So I radioed them and they gave us permission to enter. We're the only ones going up this morning. We thought there was going to be another narrowboat, but they're going the other way, so it's just us going up the lock. It's very, very wet today. It's thrown it down with rain, so we've got the canopy up yet again. So that probably, those last few days was probably, you know, the extent of having the canopy down this year. Well, we hope not. We'd like to have it down on the way back if we can. So we're going up Torksey Lock. We'll probably just moor up at the top for a few minutes just to sort ourselves out, because they really caught us on the hop really. We'd only just finished breakfast. And then we'll make our way. It's about 11 miles along the Foss to Lincoln. We might call in at Saxelby. There's a place there we could perhaps drop off some rubbish, get some more water if we need it, that kind of thing. And then we're due to go to the Brayford Pool, where we've got moorings booked for 2 nights with electricity, £16 per night, but hey ho. We're going to meet up with some friends today and go out for a meal, and then tomorrow we've got the day off and we're just going to chill and have a look around my old hometown really. I was there for 3 years, so I know Lincoln very, very well. That's where I went to college and spent our first year of marriage there in a little house in Lincoln.
Now just leaving Torksey Lock. We've just come up there and we're about to head up the Foss Dyke, this time on the boat. The last time Alan and I did this, it was in a kayak and it wasn't as rainy as this. In fact, it wasn't rainy at all. This is basically the start of the Foss Dyke. When we get round this next bend, it's pretty much a straight line for quite a distance. We're both wondering if we're going to see the mad swan that attacked us we kayaked up here. One thing we have to watch out for, and it's on the maps as well, there are deer ramps that stick out into the Foss Dyke, or a few metres on either side, but I believe it's signposted, so we should get a warning sign. Apologies if the camera work is a little bit shaky, because I'm having to lean out to the side of the boat holding onto a camera on a selfie stick, because we can't really use the top camera, because all it will do is just get covered in rain. You won't see any pictures.
We've not long passed the 2-kilometre mark, and we're now onto a very, very straight piece of canal. This is, you know, a typical Roman construction, because the Foss Dyke dates back to 120 AD. So it is reputedly the oldest canal in the country, dug out by the Romans, and then it was further extended later on. So if you got automatic pilot, or you could tie the steering wheel up somehow, or you could just tie it straight. We wouldn't have to bother steering at all. Today for our navigation we're just using the Open Canal map, the app that you can get, and if you have it on the satellite view it picks up most of the things. You can enlarge it and you can pick up quite a lot of detail. So as Steve said, it's just the deer ramps that we need to look out for really. When we kayaked this in preparation for today, some time ago, we kayaked as far as the 4 kilometre mark, and then we decided to turn round. It is quite a challenge actually kayaking these types of canals, because you can't really see above the bank either side, so it's really just like going up through a tunnel. So after a while it does become a little bit tedious, and with it just being in a straight line, we didn't go that far before we were thinking time to turn around. We've seen enough. I think we're just coming up to a yellow marker board. I think this is the deer ramp if we can get it on film. It's something to watch out for if you're doing this. We're just coming up to the first of the deer ramps. It was just after the 3 kilometre mark, and it's signalled by a couple of arrows. So I'm just going to go out a little bit further. Now apparently these go on for 2 kilometres, according to that sign that we just filmed. So we just need to keep our eye out now for these arrows. These deer ramps don't seem to be marked on the Nicholson's guide that we're using, and they are on both sides of the canal. We've got one coming up, I think, on our port side at the moment. I can just see the arrows. Now I think they're slightly staggered, so if Mr. Deer falls in, he has to sort of work his way from one ramp up to the other. And he needs to know in which direction. It's a bit like when you break down on the M1, you need to know which direction to get to the emergency telephone. Yeah.
till it died.
And maybe the arrows on them are for the deer, so that the deer know where to go. Please tune in to the boating adventure for as much misinformation as you're likely to get anywhere. So we're just going over one now. Apparently they're concrete, so you really don't want to mess with them. They're quite wide as well, aren't they? If that's the extent of them. They're at least about 3 boat lengths, so we're like talking almost 60 foot, I would have thought, wide. They're maybe not called deer ramps because of deer, it's maybe because they put them in and they cost a lot of money.
Not even funny.
So the second deer ramp was just before 4 kilometres. There's yet another deer ramp coming up on the port side this time. It was just after the 5-kilometre mark. If the first yellow sign is correct, then that's going to be about it, I think, because it said it only went on for 2 kilometres. After that, if you're a deer and you fall in, tough. So eventually we came across some yellow warning signs going the other way, so that was the extent of the 2 kilometres of deer ramps. So that's that excitement over. The next excitement on this canal is we are coming to a bend, and there's a bridge 1B, Tom Otter's Bridge. We went past the Saxelby visitor moorings. Apart from a water tap, we couldn't see anything else there, so we haven't stopped there. We do need to pick some petrol up, so we may call in at Burton Waters Marina to get that, or we'll just carry on to Lincoln and find a petrol station. We'll see how we go. It has eased off with the rain,
Thankfully.
a little bit. It keeps coming and going, but it's eased off somewhat. But it's very grey. We're hoping this is going to lift. We're now coming into the outskirts really of Lincoln. We've got a few sort of industrial estates on our starboard side. The main road, the A57, is now on the port side. It's very busy.
You spoke too soon, by the way,
Right.
because it's doing a BTK. It's spitting!
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, it just keeps coming on and
It's
off.
on and off, isn't it? Well, it's quite clear over there. It's starting to clear
Yeah.
up over there, so...
It's not torrential rain at the moment, anyway.
Not like it was this morning.
No. It has gone quite cold this morning, hasn't it? It's not warm at all, so I've just put the heating on. So this is the first time we've had the diesel heater on this trip.
That's what I can smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've just put it on. At least it'll warm our feet up, if nothing else.
Well, it warm your feet, it will warm
Yes.
mine.
That's kicking out some warm air now. Brilliant. My feet are getting really nice and toasty. Now we've currently moored up at the Pie Wipe Inn. There's some visitor moorings just outside, and if you can see out the front, it's absolutely pouring with rain at the moment, and it's just 16 minutes past 11, so we've made very good progress. We expect to be in Lincoln around about 12. And we have got some moorings booked for 2 nights, so that shouldn't be a problem getting in there. Weather forecast for tomorrow is a lot better, so hopefully we'll get to have a really good look round Lincoln. These are private moorings as we're coming into Lincoln, not far from the CRT facilities, which we are told are quite good.
camp or two for the next 2 nights.
Well, we've finally made it to our mooring. Let's hope tomorrow is going to be a nicer day.